Proof by contrapositive is another way to prove an implication. So suppose we want to prove a statement of the form P implies Q. Instead of that, or instead of doing that directly, we can instead prove the contrapositive, not Q implies not P. So this works because an implication and its contrapositive are logically equivalent, so proving one proves the other, right? And then the structure, it's actually the same as a direct proof, but a direct proof of this statement here. So what do? We first identify the conclusion. So let me write this once again. So here, P is the hypothesis, and Q is the conclusion. And what we do is we sort of find an equivalent form for it, in this case the contrapositive, and we do a direct proof on this. So how does this work? We first identify the conclusion Q and assume that it is false, because again, when you prove this, what you do is you prove that you assume this part is true, and then you have to prove this part. But assuming this part is true is the same as assuming that the conclusion here is false. So we first assume that the conclusion is false. Then we use definitions, known facts, and algebra to show that the hypothesis P must also be false. And then we can conclude that the original implication, P implies Q, is true. And so this method is especially useful when the conclusion is easier to negate than to prove directly.